Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, 18 Crosstrek Man, and today I'm doing my 1-year review of the car. And I have 18,439 miles, and they've been very smooth. I haven't had any major issues where I had to put the vehicle up in the shop for any type of work or service, no accidents. So I've had the vehicle I've had the vehicle, and the only time I had to get its basic service at each 6,000 interval. So 6,000, 12,000, and 18,000. So I have had 3 services, and I did get the prepaid maintenance. Up to 7 of the maintenances are covered, or the first 7. So haven't had to pay any additional out of pocket when I've been to the dealership. Overall, I still love the vehicle. It does the job for commuting. It's smooth, and it has some nice comfort features like heated seats when it's cold. It has Apple CarPlay to play music. It has built-in nav if you don't have your phone on you. The Harman Kardon system is pretty good. It has a decent bass, so when you're listening to your music, it's not terrible at all. I don't really use the sunroof or moonroof. Not really sure the difference, but I don't really use it. But it's a nice to have if it's something that you do use. I do like the 8.7 inches of ground clearance because in Houston, and I think it's just a lot of roads in major cities, a lot of potholes and steep driveways, so it's nice to not have to worry and just be able to drive up, drive down, and just hit a pothole if you do. I still try to go around it, of course, but if you do hit one, not a big deal. And pretty good fuel efficiency being all-wheel drive, so that's really nice. And when it rains, the wipers do the job. EyeSight's been great, even with my modifications to my new wheels. I still use the EyeSight system, and it still works no problem. It may, if you have it on the closest setting from the vehicle in front of you, it may feel even a little bit more scary. So I would recommend, bumping it up a tad or two. But even when I had the stock wheels and tires, 1 bar for the distance, it was, I didn't trust it. I didn't feel comfortable. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. And there was some article that I saw a Car and Driver did do a test on the EyeSight system from different speeds and comparing it even to Tesla's autopilot and I think like Nissan's and maybe Toyota's system. Can't remember which comparisons of what brands, but I'll add a link or something in my description so you can take a look at that. It's a good read. It's definitely a good read. And Subaru actually did come out pretty high on the charts compared to Tesla, because Tesla, everyone talks about their autopilot system so great, and it's really only, I don't remember which level out of 5. I think it might be only like a 2 out of 5 for the autonomous driving. So it's really not that hands-free. You really are supposed to have your hands on the wheel, but I know a lot of articles, people sleeping and crazy stuff like that. So nice to see that Subaru system is up there. But again, I'll have the article somewhere to take a look. So that's the EyeSight system. What else do I have? I mean, I just covered a lot in a little time because I was at a stoplight. But let me start covering some of the things that I don't necessarily hate, but they are annoying. So I'm not going to say I highly dislike them or hate them, but they're annoying. So Apple CarPlay has always been an issue, and I know Subaru's head units have never been the talk of the industry. They haven't been the very best, and Apple CarPlay to this day still has glitches. I wish it was wireless, but I know that's not very common in the industry yet. I think only a few brands have that, like BMW maybe is one of the first that does have a wireless Apple CarPlay. But being wired, you would think it's very responsive, no issues because you're plugging it in. But to this day, it still continues to have its glitches. I would say it works about 80% of the time, and 20% of the time it will plug in, the icon will show, but it won't work at all, or the icon won't show. Some other issues I had was the radio was still playing music, and then I was trying to play music from Apple CarPlay, and they were both going at the same time. And even if I plugged back in, it was playing the radio and the Apple CarPlay music that I had going from the Apple Music. So I had to shut the Apple Music essentially off, and the sucky part was the radio station, whatever station was playing, was stuck on that station. I couldn't change it. Even though I could go to the radio station screen on the head unit, try to hit other radio stations. So the only fix for that was, of course, shutting the car off, but I was already on the highway, so I couldn't just shut the car off and then turn it back on. And even then, I did that one time, shut the car off, turn it back on, it still didn't work. And I believe I read somewhere the car has to be off for X amount of time for the head unit to actually like do a or full reset. So that may be the issue. When I just shut it off, turn it back on, you know, it was still having an issue. So honestly, that's one of the biggest annoyances I would say I have with this vehicle. It's just the Apple CarPlay, since, you know, generally you listen to music all the time. Another one that I will say, and this is across every single person, and I even admitted when I first got the car and in other reviews, you know, lack of power. You know, it doesn't have enough power, and you know, it has pretty good pickup from just driving around. The brakes are decent, and I can pass cars when I'm going 65. Like, it's not an issue. If they're just cruising at 65 and I need to go up to the 70, 72, I can give it enough gas, get past them. So that's good. That you know, that's really good. But when I go up to another car, and I know this is not about 0 to 60 or drag racing, but literally when you're at a full stop, if you press the gas pedal all the way down, it is slow. Like, it doesn't feel like it's moving. And this is after having the car for a year. I would say initially when I first got the vehicle, oh, this has some pretty good getty up, you know, the gas pedal's responsive. But after you own the car for a while, and then if you drive a faster vehicle, you will be like, wow, this is pretty dang slow. So ideally, you know, I bought the extended warranty, and you know, I want to keep this car naturally aspirated. I want to keep the warranty and not do anything. But if there was a upgrade, some name brand aftermarket company that came out with a turbo package, I would be highly interested in getting it to add some additional power to the vehicle. Or if they had a turbo version, I would definitely want to be first in line to get that. But I think the demographics of what Subaru does their research in, people are not looking for this vehicle for power, so this is kind of across the industry for this comparison vehicle, this size. It's, you know, pretty standard. All the numbers add up. If not, they're better. So I definitely understand, you know, where Subaru's coming from and everything regarding that, because at the end of the day, I know all companies, it's a business, they got to make money, and if they're not selling, of course they're losing money. So it has to be a business case. But anyhow, I wish there was power for those enthusiasts like me. How I compensate for it is, you know, giving it this rugged look. And what's really nice is there is aftermarket support. Yes, there's not as much as the Subaru WRX STI. You know, that's the big mod community that pretty much gets those. And I'll admit I had a WRX before and I loved it. But yes, a lot of aftermarket support for those types of vehicles. But for like the Forester, the Outback, this Crosstrek, and even the new Ascent, there is still some aftermarket support for making it a off-road vehicle. LP Adventure makes a lot, I think, a lift kit for all the SUV lineup across Subaru. And what's really nice is that about that lift kit, yes, it is pricey, but it actually has some certification from like the National Highway something. I don't know the certification, but it does actually have some certification for like rollover. So that's actually probably the only one, I think, on the aftermarket support for Subaru that has that. And generally, you know, aftermarket support, you don't get any kind of certification like that. So that's kind of cool. But there is other ones out there that do make some lift kits. So that is, you know, really, really, really nice. And then you still have different types of aftermarket wheels, you know, Methods being one of the biggest aftermarket wheels that people like to go for the Crosstreks, mainly the MR502s, because they've been out for a while, so a lot of people like them, and I still like them. I think they're a nice set, but fortunately I waited to get my wheels, and they came out with the MR701s, which I actually like to look better. I love them, and I'm happy that I waited and I have these. But there's aftermarket support, you know, Rhino and Sparco, and even LP Adventure makes their own set of wheels now. So there's definitely some wheels out there, and there's more out there, but those are like some of the more popular brands for wheels. And then there's a lot of different tire dimensions, the sizes that are made in brands. BF Goodrich, you got me with the Cooper, you have Yokohama. I mean, there's a lot of brands, and they have the size that you would need for the wheels that you would buy. So that is really nice as well. And then LED light bars are a big thing this day. A lot of Jeeps like to do it, or the 4Runners, or the Tacomas, or the Tundras, or the Raptors, you know, all those type of vehicles. So those are just universal, so it doesn't matter, you know, what LED light bars you want to buy or sizes, they have them out there. Rigid Industries are the ones I have, but Ball Design honestly makes some really nice ones as well. And then of course you have some more cost efficient ones on the market. So, you know, there's a lot of support out there. Some more annoyances that I want to cover are the rear doors. They don't have the, I'm not sure what you call it, but like the sensor, so you can lock and unlock with using your keyless entry system. It's only on the front doors, and unfortunately it's not on the rear door. Surprisingly, there is something on the hatch, so you know, that is like, on the hatch, why not the rear door? So another annoyance. I'm sure it's a cost-cutting measure. And then I'm sure you've seen many reviews, but the front doors have a glossy carbon fiber look, and the rear has a dry carbon fiber look. It would be nice if they at least kept them matching, either with the dry carbon look or the glossy carbon look. But unfortunately, they opted to have two different looks. Interesting, but it is what it is. And you know, the AC vents, and these, a lot of these things I've mentioned in other videos. It's still an annoyance. It's kind of the placement where it is. You just get used to all these things, but the placement of the AC vents, well, more so the ones to the left and right of the, I guess the left one, because your hand is on the steering wheel and the air hits there, and you can't really get it to your face or your body. Your hand is blocking it. So that's another one. Dual climate control. There's only a single. It would be nice if there was dual. Other annoyances with the car would be this driver's seat. I'm not sure where it is, but when I get in and out of the vehicle, there's a little bit of a squeak to it. I would probably need to, you know, look at the seat, get out of the car, and kind of shake it to see where it's coming from, so I could probably do something about it. But it is kind of starting to squeak, so it's a little annoying. Not really a big deal, but just kind of disappointing. Alright everyone, well, I talked a lot about the things that I like and the things that I don't like, again, after having the car for 1 year. And I've driven a lot, over 18,000 miles, and I hope to drive many more miles. The car is great, and I will make a video following up on the aftermarket support of literally just my modifications that I've done on the vehicle. But I do want to say that what you hear, if you can hear something, that's the new sound with my light bar, my roof rack, and the spare tire on the rack. It definitely is louder, and you know, I don't mind it, because I love, you know, I'd rather have that little bit of louder noise with all this stuff versus having it a little less quiet and not having all of that on my vehicle. So to me, I don't mind it, but I just want to share that with you if you can't hear that, as I know that's a big question. And another big question is mileage. And I'll talk about those in a little bit more detail in another video when I do my modifications. Overall, I think Subaru did a fantastic job, as this vehicle is really an all-arounder. It's good for someone looking for a commuter with good gas mileage, and it's comfortable, and you can rely on it, and maintenance isn't that much. If you are looking to get into the off-road scene, or you like that kind of look and can't afford a Jeep or any other type of vehicle where it's more costly, then this is a great buy, as well as there's aftermarket support for wheels, a lift, and I just want to add to the aftermarket support. Parts are cheaper. Like, you don't need to buy big wheels and tires because you only can fit so big on the Crosstrek. So that's just another thing to keep in mind. Definitely very fun when you start modding it like that. But if you're looking for a powerful vehicle, a sports type car, but in a subcompact SUV, this is not the vehicle for you. You should be looking for something else, because I can tell you, you won't be happy. Alright everyone, thank you for watching this 1-year review of my 2018 Subaru Crosstrek. I hope you enjoyed it. Please stay tuned for more videos. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.